NIH Director Collins said that they're not aware of any other funds or activities that the lab could have taken outside of their grant approvals. But lawmakers are also questioning whether it was prudent to send any money to China, given how their government has not been transparent. Jillian?
Jackie Heinrich live on Capitol Hill. Thank you. John?
Jillian, for more on this, let's bring in Washington Congresswoman Cathy McMorris-Rodgers. She is the ranking member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. So the White House Congresswoman McMorris-Rodgers is leaving this to the WHO to investigate. But I know that you and some of your colleagues want an American investigation. You're asking the State Department to declassify documents. What exactly are you looking for and why?
Absolutely. Well, the Energy and Commerce Committee, we launched our investigation in March. And what we are seeking is a comprehensive inquiry to the NIH to join the Energy and Commerce Committee so that we can get a scientific and independent investigation into the origins of COVID-19. That is what we need. This is a matter of public health. It's also a matter of biosecurity. So right now we are tracking two plausible scenarios. One is that it originated with a laboratory accident. The other is that it was some kind of a natural origin. So that is what we are seeking right now. We need the NIH to cooperate with us. There's a lot of circumstantial clues that point to a laboratory accident. So as a part of our investigation, we are pushing more information from NIH, the State Department, the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, the Department of Homeland Security, and EcoHealth Alliance. So EcoHealth Alliance is the entity that received the funding from NIH. And we want to know what that was used for. And it was in EcoHealth Alliance is the one that was involved in funding this bat coronavirus research with the Wuhan lab. So again, this is a matter of public health, it's a matter of biosecurity, and we're not going to leave any stone unturned until we get some answers.
Let's take a moment to rewind the clock back a year. This is the East Room of the White House, President Trump holding a press conference. I had this exchange with him. Let's listen here.
Have you seen anything at this point that gives you a high degree of confidence that the Wuhan Institute of Virology was the origin of this virus?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I think that the World Health Organization should be ashamed of themselves because they're like the public relations agency for China.
Now, here's what the mainstream media was saying at the time about that exchange and what other people were saying. NPR, scientists debunk lab accident theory of pandemic emergence. Washington Post, Tom Cotton keeps repeating a coronavirus conspiracy theory that was already debunked. PolitiFact, Tucker Carlson guest airs debunked conspiracy theory that COVID-19 was created in a lab. That claim is inaccurate and ridiculous. We rate it pants on fire. This time last year, Congresswoman, anybody who entertained the idea that this thing came out of a lab was dismissed as a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. Yet, people seem to be reversing course now.
Yes, absolutely, John. And what they were depending upon was EcoHealth Alliance. So they were depending upon the very source to back up the claim that EcoHealth Alliance was saying that it could not have come from a lab. But yet it was EcoHealth Alliance that used some of the funding from NIH, the money that they got from NIH, to fund the Wuhan lab. So I don't believe that they are an objective source on this issue. And we have a lot of questions about their work related to the coronavirus research. And so far, they have not provided, EcoHealth Alliance has not provided us any evidence to rule out the lab theory. So
I wanted to just quickly, just because we've only got about 30 seconds left, want to ask you about this. You say in your letter to the Secretary of State that the Wuhan Institute of Virology presented itself as a civilian institution, yet it has been determined by the United States that it collaborated on publications and secret projects with China's military. Do you believe there's any possible connection here between the Chinese military, the Wuhan laboratory, and coronavirus?
Well, we need answers, and that's why we're not going to let up on this. We've not heard back from the State Department, and they need to be working with us. They need to release the documents that will help us inform and make sure that we have the answers. Now, I would note that Secretary Blinken has said that we need to get to the bottom of it. So this is our best possible shot of preventing this kind of a pandemic happening again. And we must have the answers related to the Wuhan lab and their relationship with the military within the Chinese Communist Party.
Well, we will keep watching to see if they truly do want to get to the bottom of this. Congresswoman Morris Rogers, it's always great to see you. Thanks for joining us to start off the show today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Julie?
The family of a 6-year-old killed in a road rage shooting in California is now offering $50,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Someone shot and killed Aiden Leos last week while he was riding in the backseat of his mother's car on a California freeway. Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt joins us from Orange, California with the details. Hey, Jonathan.
Gillian, good afternoon to you. Behind me is the growing memorial for and tribute to 6-year-old Aiden Leos. The fact that we're on this nondescript overpass above a suburban Southern California freeway speaks in large part to the senselessness of the killing. Aiden Leos shot in the back, a bullet entering the trunk of his mother's car as she drove him to school last Friday on this busy freeway. The California Highway Patrol believes somebody must have seen something, because on the southbound side of this freeway, as Aiden and his mom traveled north, the traffic was gridlocked. So they hope somebody will come forward. They say they are looking for a newer model white Volkswagen sedan. And this shooting has become emblematic of the ongoing crime surge we're seeing in Southern California. Take a look at these figures, for instance, from the Los Angeles Police Department. And up until May 15th this year, 521 shooting victims. That is a 67.5% increase on the same time period last year. And homicides, 129 up to May 15 this year. That's up 26.5% over the same period in 2020. So, Gillian, this crime surge that we saw taking hold as the pandemic began to take hold in 2020 is still a major problem in Southern California, even as the pandemic wanes. Gillian?
Jonathan Hunt, a very difficult story to cover today. Thanks for bringing us the details.
Sure.
John, one thing that Jonathan was right to do was connect the dots between this senseless, horrific murder of a 6-year-old and this surge in violent crime that we're seeing. It seems across the nation, no cities are immune, whether West Coast, East Coast, we're seeing it in the South, in Midwestern cities. It seems like no corner of this country is untouched by this.
And road rage is everywhere.
Everywhere.
I see it every day on my way into work.
In this town?
In this town,
Washington?
Yeah. But this story, as a parent, this story is just absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, I can't imagine taking my son or my daughter to school in the back of the car and having somebody shoot them.
It's like
unbelievable. The police should be out combing every inch of every neighborhood in Los Angeles.
Well, the good news is that the killer is somewhere. And if traffic was anything like I've seen it on California freeways, someone will have seen something and will come forward.
And Caltrans has got cameras everywhere, so it's got to be on a camera somewhere. And how many white Volkswagens could there possibly be in the area? I mean,
that's a good point,
maybe a
too,
few, but you can run them all down.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking with the California Highway Patrol in our next hour about this as well. The defense getting its turn today in the murder trial of Mexican national Christian Rivera, who is accused of killing Iowa college student Molly Tibbetts. Talking about another heartbreaking story. The defense called a DNA expert as their first witness, who testified he found DNA in the trunk of Rivera's car that did not belong to the suspect or Tibbetts, but he also said Tibbetts' DNA was clearly found in the trunk. Two of Rivera's relatives also took the stand before a court recess. Rivera faces life in prison without parole if he is found guilty of murder.
This is a Fox News alert now. Republican Senator Rand Paul says he knows exactly who to blame